Welcome to Bella's Guidance. I am your host, Auntie Bella, a psychic shaman, spiritual guide, and mentor, as well as your favorite holistic healer. With your permission, I'd love to guide and steer and propel you, the chosen few, along your spiritual journey and many awakenings by sharing ways to heal mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. All while realizing it's okay not to be perfect. You weren't created to be perfect, love. You were created to be the best version of you. With that being said, let's get into today's message. The title of today's message is Knowing Your Love Language Will Manifest Your Higher Level Soulmate. The title of today's message collective is Knowing Your Love Language Will Manifest Your Higher Level Soulmate. Ooh la la. Okay, so let's get into today's message. So, we'll be discussing the 5 love languages and why knowing your love language is so important. I love talking about the 5 love languages, and you're going to see why. So, the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. I'll be sharing how these love languages are properly expressed within a beautiful connection between 2 partners who strongly desire to meet each other's needs. So, let's talk about words of affirmation first. I spoke recently about my daughter and son's love language on a previous post, and her love language was words of affirmation. She loved for me to cheer for her milestones and tell her I love her. So I make sure I do all of this to meet her needs. If this is your love language, it means you desire to hear I love you, or it's necessary for your partner to affirm their feelings for you frequently. This could also look like your partner showing support for your milestones. To a certain extent, I enjoy this as well. However, the support trumps the affirmation. I love to know my partner has my back in my ventures and things I'm interested in, and always open to assisting or giving feedback or insight. Physical touch is another love language I'll be discussing today. If your love language is physical touch, you enjoy being touchy-feely with your partner, whether you're in or outside of the bedroom, and this is how your partner should express their love to you. You may want them to hold your hand or smack your butt or even pick you up. Whatever this looks like for you, it will fill your cup. I just suggest you make this known to your partner. So if you want your partner to allow you to sit in their lap and pet your hair, you need to make this known. Okay? Quality time. If quality time is your love language, you having your partner's undivided attention is necessary when they speak your love language. I gave the example that this was my son's love language. So I quickly had to learn that bringing my cell phone when spending quality time was a no-no. Now, whatever we do, he has my full attention, and his cup is filled whether it's 20 minutes or 2 hours. My suggestion for this love language is to suggest where or what you'd like to do during this quality time to give your partner some wiggle room. Acts of service. If this is your love language, you love to receive assistance from your partner or for them to do things for you. This could be anything from them stepping in at a moment's notice to assist with the kids' homework, or to them running to the store because you have a few things to take care of around the house. Most people I know, to include myself with this love language, enjoy when their partner can anticipate their needs and step in saying things such as, I see you're busy. I can bring the kids to the football game or cook dinner if you'd like. Just let me know what you need. Now, I'll say specifically for this love language, I love it so much, but I wanted to explain real quick. If you notice you used to have a different love language in the past, for example, you had physical touch and quality time in the past, and then you were in a connection where acts of service became very important and prevalent to you, your love language can change, because specifically for me, that was my situation. I went without assistance from partners. And so I realized how important acts of service was for me. I still love my quality time. I still love my physical touch, but I realized that acts of service was very important as well. And I just wanted to let you know that it's okay if you have multiple love languages as long as you communicate your needs to your partner. Okay. And now gifts. Okay, some people like gifts, and this is how they like love to be expressed. If this is your love language, receiving gifts fills your cup. This does not have to be an expensive gift, but people with this love language usually prefer if they have a specific meaning or they are well thought out. So an example of this would be you running out of your favorite perfume, and you come home the next day and you see a new bottle on the dresser with a note that says, "I saw you were running low, and I love how this smells on you." Things like this get the wheels turning for you. Not gonna lie, this would definitely get my wheels turning too. It's just not a necessity. It's just something I would like my partner to maybe do every once in a while. It's not something I need consistently. Okay? If that makes sense. Many people have more than one love language, which I tried to explain recently, but there is always a dominant love language. And just to give you guys a little bit about me, I have a dominant love language, but my dominant love language is running neck and neck with the dominant love language. So my dominant love languages are acts of service and physical touch. And then my second would be quality time. So don't be surprised or feel weird if you're like that. I'm just different and I like things a certain way. And so I have to communicate that to my partner. And my partner knows my needs, so he'll know exactly how to meet them. As far as I'm concerned, I do really well in connections where my significant other is open to being helpful in all ways, with the kids, around the house, etc. I enjoy collaborating and double teaming with the chores, homework, dinner, and so forth. But I also love physical touch, even when it does not lead to sex or foreplay, such as holding hands, kissing, laying on my partner's shoulder, sitting in their lap, or rubbing their head, their ears, their arms, and back. So it's my responsibility to communicate that to my partner so that he can meet my needs, okay? I also enjoy lots of foreplay. Get out of my business, okay? But I prefer if it starts outside of the bedroom, so I'm looking forward to what's coming. You know, for an example, sexting, love notes, unexpected kisses, hugs, and makeout sessions. That's my shit, okay? Like, I love that. I love the build-up. It makes me feel loved and desired. So that's something I would have to communicate to my partner as well. I'm also sapiosexual, so spending quality time, learning new things about the world, cultural differences, or expansion, elevation, and growth within the connection between both parties is very intriguing for me. I love to learn new things about and from my partner, and vice versa. So communication is very important. This is something I would need to communicate to my partner as well. The reason knowing your love language is so important, guys, is because how can you teach someone how you need to be loved if you do not know what you desire? I'm sure you can look back at past connections and you can see those times where you did not communicate your needs and what happened in those connections. I can give you an example for me. So I was in the past, I was with, I'll say my ex-husband, my daughter's father. There were some things that I should have communicated to him in the beginning about my needs, and I didn't want to come in too strong, and I was worried about how he would feel about me. You know, I looked at what I was wanting to say about my needs as a complaint or sounding like I'm whining, and I shouldn't have, because what I did was I blocked my own throat chakra because I was worried about him not wanting to do what I wanted. Okay. And we shouldn't feel like that. We should always communicate our needs in the beginning so that later on, when those things or those needs are not being met, there can be some accountability. But in the beginning, I didn't say anything. And then halfway through the marriage, I was like, hey, my needs aren't getting back. These are my needs. And so it was like, okay, well, why didn't you say that from the beginning? You know what I mean? And then we have to go back through that. Okay. So now I'm asking you to meet these needs and you're not listening because now you have an attitude because you feel like I should have said it from the beginning instead of just, so we have all this baggage down when it should have been said from the beginning. Now, truth be told, if somebody loves you, it doesn't matter if you say it in the beginning, the end, the middle, they're going to make some shit happen. But that just was not my story, and I was not in the right connection. So when I did bring these things to this person's attention, I found out very quickly how much they care about me and how much they do care about themselves. Okay. They were very selfish, obviously, here, but I'm just communicating you. Make sure you communicate your needs, because had I communicated this in the beginning, I would have known I was with the wrong person, because he would have shown me over time he was not willing to make those changes to keep me happy. Okay. Now, the reason knowing your love language is important is because how can you teach someone how you need to be loved? I'm telling you guys, if you don't know your own love language, that could be detrimental to your healing. Okay, forget your partner. Okay, I'm going to be real with you right now. If you don't even know how your needs need to be met, you can't even have a good friendship. You can't even have a connection with your child. So if you don't even know your love language, you probably don't know your child's love language. You probably don't know your partner's love language. You're not speaking anybody's language, and you're not even making sure your language is getting spoken, which means your heart chakra is probably blocked. Okay, which this takes us, now we're getting into spiritual blockages. Okay. So this is why it's so important for you to know yourself. So then once you know yourself, you can understand others and you can meet their needs. One mistake a lot of people make about love languages is they try to translate the love language that they need onto others. They project it onto others. So I'll give an example of this. If your love language is physical touch, it's going to be very easy for you to accidentally assume your partner's love language is physical touch as well. It's not always the case. You might get lucky if you have a twin flame. Your twin flame might be very similar to you, but don't always assume that your partner is energetically aligned with you with everything. You're going to have some differences there. So if you're projecting, physical touch, and your partner's more into quality time and acts of service, you're not filling their cup. Okay. And then if they're projecting quality time and gifts and your physical touch, now you're missing each other. Okay, so don't ever assume, don't get in the habit of assuming just from observing that this is your partner's needs. Okay, this is your partner's love language. Always confirm that. Yes, if you know your partner really well and you're really good at observing and assessing, that's great, but always get confirmation and clarity so you can make sure both of your needs are being met. Okay. That's very important. Okay. So once you know what you desire, you free up the space for the spirit realm to send the soulmate that can best fit and meet your needs. If you do not know how, will they know? Okay, so whenever we know about the twin flame connections, the higher level soulmate connections, okay, these are those high vibrational soulmates. If the spirit realm is sitting there watching you, your guides, your angels, and your ancestors are sitting there watching you, and they're like, you don't even know your love language. How the hell you want us to send you somebody to love on you and you don't even know what you need? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to tell the spirit realm, I want a man, and you don't even know how you want to be treated? You have to think about that for a second. You don't even know how you want to be loved. You don't even know how you want to be spoken to. Okay, so these are things that you need to be very, very clear on before you even ask the spirit realm to intervene on your love life. You need to do your part first. You need to do your job first. You need to know thyself first. You need to heal your heart chakra first. Okay, get yourself in alignment and then show the spirit realm you're ready for that connection. Okay. Something else I'd like to share is if you've experienced trauma within past connections, like I said in the beginning, this may lead to your love language changing based on specific needs you now realize weren't being met. Remember I said I had to change my love language because I realized when I went without certain things, I needed them. My suggestion is that if this is your story, be sure to be clear on your new love language. So if you're in a partnership and you come in and let's say your physical touch and quality time when you come into the partnership, and then something happens, you're like, I'm switching to gifts. I want gifts now. Okay. Thoughtful gifts. You need to communicate that to your partner. They're not going to know. If they're paying attention, like my man, my man is going to know immediately because he pays very close attention, but not everybody's person is as intuitive and connected like that. Okay. That's something you might have to work up to. Okay. With time, and I got lucky for that. But I'm just saying in these situations, make sure you're communicating and you're receiving confirmation. Okay. This changed, babe. I thought I just needed this, but I need this too. And I don't really need that as much anymore. That is your job to do that. That is their job to do that so that you two can meet in the middle and understand each other. Okay. If you're not sure what your love language is, there is a website that you can find online and you can take a quiz. All you have to do is type in the 5 love languages on Google and take the quiz. 5 love languages quiz. Google 5 love languages quiz, and it'll let you take like up to 4 to 5 quizzes, and it'll narrow them down very specifically to what you need. And then you'll be able to see, oh, I actually have 2 at the top here. I have 2 running neck and neck, and then I have 1 in second place. That is very important that you know that. So make sure you take that quiz if you're unaware, so you can be brought up to speed on what your needs are and be very specific about them when you enter connection. Okay. And I actually am a little bit nosy. I like to know how my collective is doing. So once you do, for the people out there that don't know their love language, or you just want to make sure it's aligning with your energy and you want to go take the quiz, drop me a comment and let me know what you found about yourself, because I like to see stuff like that. That's exciting to me. Anyway, as always, I look forward to hearing from you all. This is your girl Bella, keeping it 100 as always, and sending you love and light on your spiritual journey. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.